What's up, my brothers and sisters? Hopefully everyone's having a wonderful day. And it's a good Friday. So, not just any Friday, but a good Friday. And it's a little chilly, actually. I noticed that a lot of, I don't know if it's a big deal, but a lot of the stuff going on in the news and what people are doing is protesting against gun violence. And I'm not against gun violence, but sometimes necessary violence is needed to restore order and balance. And what I mean by that is, I watched the video of the shooting at the school, the Christian school, and I gotta say, the police executed flawlessly. They went in, didn't hesitate, showed no fear. Before they knew it, they were on top of the target. They just kept pushing and pushing, and before you know it, they flanked the target, came from behind, and the target didn't even see what was coming. Neutralized it and eliminated the threat, and that was the end of that person. So it was definitely necessary. Had those police officers and their tools of destruction, being a gun, I fear that more people would have been injured and killed. And it's because of their bravery and courage and execution of flawless strategic strategy. They just basically went in, neutralized the target, and eliminated it, and that was the end of that person. And I don't understand what people want when they're asking for gun reform, and because protests don't work. Politicians ain't listening. Protests don't work. All a protest really does is gives you the chance to just yell at the top of your lungs and get it out of your system. But that doesn't mean anybody's listening. That doesn't mean that they're gonna do what you want, or else they wouldn't have passed the laws they did in the first place. So sometimes you might even make them mad, and they might even undo some of the laws they put. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'm just speaking from experience and personal. Sometimes when you make people mad, they change their minds and do the exact opposite. So, but a lot of students were protesting, and because of the school shootings and stuff like that. And need I remind you, a lot of the school shootings and shootings that happen are people that were never criminals. They were law-abiding as citizens, as far as I'm concerned, before they decided to flip out and do what they did. And it's a shame, but there's crazy people out there, unfortunately, and evil is real, and it does exist. So, and that's why brave people and courageous people who are willing to put their lives on the line and execute that opposition and eliminate the target and the threat. So, but when I see these people protest and they're asking for more stricter gun laws, my question for them is, what more do you want besides, because the next step is to just take the guns away, or not sell them any bullets, and and nowadays that wouldn't work anyways. All you gotta do is get a blueprint, and you could just 3D print your own gun now. Hell, go to the hardware store and buy some pipes, springs, melt down some metal, and you got yourself a gun and some bullets. You know what I mean? So there's really no point in that, because and besides all that, you got criminals. What's that going to do for criminals? You want the gun violence to stop and the school shootings to stop, but that doesn't solve the street problem. As long as there's a street problem, there's always going to be guns. You know what I mean? There's always going to be weapons. And I don't know what more you want. I just recently saw a news article. It was I think out of Brazil. 4 children, I think, were brutally murdered in a nursery school. by a man with an axe. So you take guns away, people are always going to find a way to kill other people. They use a hammer, people use knives, axes, hell, you use a butter knife, ice pick, shoot a sharp rock, you know, go caveman style, make a bow and arrow. Now you got yourself a projectile, you know. I mean, what more do you want? I mean, what are you asking for? You want to end violence, period? That'll never happen. As long as evil exists, hatred and jealousy and anger and, you know, crazy. People have been murdering and killing people since the time of man. I think it's in the Bible. Cain and Abel or something like that. I think he killed him with a rock or something. I don't know. Something like that, right? A rock. A big rock. Oh, smash your head with a rock. So, people use cars. And as a matter of fact, if you want to ban guns and all that, hopefully they don't, because when people find out that you can make bombs with just household chemicals and a pressure cooker, then you got yourself another Boston Marathon bombing. And honestly, bombs do more damage than guns. So, you know, I mean, with household chemicals, literally, you can go to Lowe's, you can go to Home Depot, Walmart, go buy yourself some chemicals. Hell, you can get the parts for a gun at any of these stores if you know how to build it. And like I said, you can 3D print one. Yeah, it'll just like make it out of plastic. All you need is like a spring and a firing pin. And there you go. Got yourself a deadly weapon there. But besides the Boston Marathon and household chemicals and bombs, I think people have forgotten history. There was a thing called Tiananmen Square. I think it was in 1989. It was actually Chinese students that were protesting about school. Well, they were doing it peacefully, screaming at the top of their lungs. And you know what the government did? Well, they started shooting them, mowing them down with machine guns and tanks. And that's where you have the historical photo and the historical action of that man standing in the middle of the road stopping that tank. You know where those tanks were going? Yeah, that's right. They were going to kill all their own people. You know how they were going to do that with no problem? Because they didn't have any guns. And like I said, man, as long as evil exists, murder and death will never stop. Like I said, people use cars. Like I said, you take the guns away, wait until people start figuring out how to use bombs, household chemicals. The world's a dangerous place. I wish it was a lot different, and I wish there wasn't such a thing. But unfortunately, since the time of man, with a rock in your head, people will always hurt people. As long as there's crazy people, as long as there's, like I said, anger, jealousy, hatred, and a reason, no matter how small. I was incarcerated for some time, and I've seen people damn near kill people over 50 cents, 25 cents, a ramen. So, just take that Christian food for thought.